Hello, hello, hello. My name is not Joe. It's Jordan.
And Midori.
Joe's not here today. So we got the lovely Midori filling in for his spot, and she's gonna do so much better, right?
Oh my gosh. No, I don't know about that. No, Joe's pretty professional.
Joe's the worst.
No.
Joe is the worst, and so hope I permanently replace Joe.
No, he's a pro at this, so hopefully I can live up to how he talks.
Well, all you gotta do is just insult me and everything like that. But
Easy.
let's talk about some of the things that we're going to get into. First, this is going to premiere after the Oscars, and so we're going to talk about some of the best pictures that have come out this century that have won the best picture. Also, we're going to talk about some of the favorite movies that we've watched. What movie did you watch this week?
I watched The Iron Claw.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about Iron Claw, and then we're going to talk about The Dune.
Oh.
We're going to talk about Mr. Timothy
Okay.
Chalamet.
I was like, oh my gosh.
We're also going to talk about a couple of TV shows that we watched this week. And, of course, we're going to catch you guys all up on Lib. Love is Blind. And my favorite part is Midori has not watched it. So we're definitely going to get into the finale of it.
I've heard lots of things about it. It's
Yeah.
all in the news.
Yes, it is. Okay, so let's talk about our quick topic. As we all know, it's Oscar season. Oscars are this weekend. When you hear this, I bet you that Oppenheimer wins Movie of the Year. Am I wrong?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
For sure.
Like,
Best picture.
yeah. Is there any other best picture that you want to win instead of Oppenheimer?
Well, I mean, obviously Barbie, like that.
Yeah.
I just think creatively, like it was awesome. But I'm trying to think. The other movies I don't know about Best Picture, but they were just fantastic films, and
Yeah.
so I would love to see them win, but I just don't think they
Yeah.
they probably will.
Yeah,
but-
exact same. Like Oppenheimer is definitely going to win. I loved Oppenheimer; it's great. It didn't make me feel like Barbie. Like I was very enthused about Barbie. But one of my favorite films that are nominated is American Fiction. I loved American
Oh
Fiction.
yeah, no, American
Yeah.
Fiction was great.
It was a great, fantastic movie. But we all know Oppenheimer's going to win. So instead of us just talking about like all the Oscars, because it's going to be after, we're going to talk about some of our favorite Best Picture movies and some of the worst movies that have won Best Picture this century. So what are some of your favorite Best Picture movies that have won this century?
Honestly, going through the list, so I would have to say, man.
What's number one?
Number
What's number
one?
Yeah,
Number
pick.
one is probably Parasite.
Okay, Parasite is a fantastic ass movie. Did not know at like, especially at the beginning, did not know where it was going to go,
No.
and that twist near the end.
It's
Oh
just
my
too
God.
much, and it's like it's one of those movies where I feel like you just got you got a little bit of everything, but it was all very quality. Like
Yes.
you got a mystery, you got horror, you got a thriller, you got love, you got like inspirational at some points too, and yeah, you just like had so many things, and that was just like a wonderful film.
And then also it's just like the things you would do when you're poor,
Yeah,
the things that you do for your family, for you, for status and stuff like that.
right.
But you also got a little bit of comedy in it too, as well.
Yeah, there's like some humorous parts.
Yeah, I thought like Parasite is probably like one of my favorite movies that have come out here. Because again, I just never seen something like that. I never really watched any Korean films until I watched Parasite.
Oh man.
And then I was just like, you know what? There's a whole new genre I need to start
No.
watching. And then now I start watching like Korean like challenges and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like game shows and things
Yeah.
like that. Like I'm like, whoa, I didn't know Korea was like putting out stuff
No,
like
I
this.
think Asian films in general, they They, I feel like they open a box that like a lot of people haven't touched yet
Yeah.
sometimes in their movies. Because same with like, so for that, I'm pretty sure director Bong Joon-ho,
Yeah.
like, have you seen Snowpiercer?
Yes.
Or
Actually seen that.
yeah, like that's like another one where he was like, I think he was either the director or co-director or something, but he was a big role in that movie, and that was also like another,
Yeah.
that was another great one. But yeah, no, a Parasite though is just you touching on like the whole view about, poverty and being poor, and like the things that you feel and the things that people will go through to just to, I don't know, just like feel comfortable in any
Yeah.
sense, because in that movie too, they're doing jobs, like they're serving this wealthy family who's very well off, very privileged, and kind of doesn't really appreciate the parts of their life that like the family that works for them doesn't have.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just, I don't know, it just like,
Fantastic movie.
yeah,
Like
wonderful, and also just shot beautifully. I
that's
haven't.
A24, right?
Is it?
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's A24.
I wouldn't be surprised because like they
No.
always take like original, like really nice like original films, and
Is A24 also made Moonlight?
yep.
Moonlight, I wouldn't say it's one of my like it's not one of my favorite movies out of this, but Moonlight is a beautiful movie.
I
It's
loved
a beautiful
Moonlight.
movie.
Yes.
But I would say out of this entire like this century,
Mm-hmm.
my favorite movie is probably The Departed.
Really?
I love The Departed.
I've actually never seen The Departed.
Oh my God. If you want to see a cat and mouse game and like twists and turns, watch The Departed. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt
It's like,
Damon, Jack Nicholson's all in it.
so like
Mark
all the,
Wahlberg.
yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's basically about how this FBI informant is undercover. And somebody who's in the FBI is part of a gang that Jack Nicholson runs. And so now they're all just trying to figure out who's the rat, who's the one feeding the FBI the information,
shoot. Okay.
or who's the one that's feeding the gang the information.
Dang.
And so they're just trying to catch one of each other. Somebody's going to die. It's all gang shit. Amazing.
Crazy. Okay.
Beautiful movie. Highly recommend.
Nice.
I would also say probably my second favorite on this list is Birdman.
Oh.
Have you seen Birdman?
No, I have not seen Birdman either.
Birdman it's so beautiful because it's all one take.
Okay.
Like it's not technically one take, but the way they show it, it's all one take. So the camera is following anybody and everybody who's on screen, and they just keep going like downstairs and then go to the next scene. And it's just nonstop. There's no blank cut or anything like that. So it's all one take.
Gotcha. So it's like 1917.
Yes.
Where they all, okay.
Also, that movie was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Great.
But anyway, so basically, a person was a superhero, right? They were super. They're basically like Batman.
Okay.
They played in a bunch of Batman movies, and then they're getting older now. And now it's just like, okay, what do I want to do? And now they're like, I want to go to Broadway. And so they start doing a Broadway movie. And when I tell you that everybody's like down to him, it's Michael Keaton. He's a star. Emma Stone is also in it. And so Michael Keaton's coming back, and he's like, I want to do a Broadway play. And everybody's like, bro, you're washed up. And so he has this persona of like Birdman. And that's talking to him.
Yeah.
He's like, you're Birdman. This is how you talk. And like, it's just such a battle that he has to really go through of like, I'm trying to distance myself away that I'm not just this person. And then sometimes he's like, I'm just going to take into that character. And the directing in this movie is spot on, perfect. Highly would recommend.
Okay.
I
no, I
if
will.
you haven't seen Birdman,
I've
1,000
actually,
million,
I've just
million
never,
percent.
I've never heard of Birdman, so no.
Great,
for
fantastic
sure.
movie.
No, it'll definitely be on our list.
What's another good movie you've seen that's on this list?
Let's see. Well, I want to say Everything Everywhere All at Once, but I know that like that was no. I mean,
Then say it.
well, I am. I'm saying that, but like I'm trying to like see some like other because like we actually just watched a recent one that I loved because I heard that it won Best Picture, and it was in 2008. Slumdog Millionaire.
Slumdog Millionaire is a great movie.
It's great, and I feel like. See, we watch. So when I say me and my boyfriend, we watched it recently because that's who I'm referencing when I say we. But no, Slumdog Millionaire. I think I saw it on like a TikTok, people talking about Best Picture, and it made me remember it because I was like, I forgot I loved that movie when I was much younger.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, so like I have to let me rewatch it because I seriously just forgot that that even happened. So but no, that was also, and watching it with when I'm much older now, sometimes things don't hit as like how do I put this, like
they don't hit as hard as a kid because
you're focused on different things as a kid.
You're focused on different things, and you're not as like emotionally intelligent.
Yes,
as a kid.
yes.
And so once you start like rewatching some of these movies, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this hits way harder now than it did when I was a kid. You know.
Yes, like I remember being a kid. Like when I saw this movie, I loved like the colors and the picture, and like it was depicted in like
beautiful
India and stuff. Yeah, it's just like, but and it's all about, obviously in the name, slum, like the slums and everything. But like honestly, as a kid, like I don't know why, I just like didn't think of that. No, which sounds so stupid, but
not stupid.
Now I'm watching it more recently, and I'm like a full grown adult. But what a tragic movie. Yes. Incredibly tragic. Just, and the acting by Dev Patel is just great. He was really young then, and he's just awesome.
How old was he then?
I think he was like maybe early 20s, I think.
Yeah.
Like he was a kid too. So but yeah, just like the things that happen in that movie, like, with it's not the cartels. It's like the gangs and like all that, like just now processing all that information with like info that I know now about stuff. Shit. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is some like real hard stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah, and also like it brought in like another medium,
yes.
Instead of just another American film, it brought basically like Bollywood, like what made Bollywood popular in America.
Fabulous. Yeah.
They put out thousands of films every single year. And so like I wish more people gave foreign films more an opportunity.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Than just hey, here's a foreign film category. No, I like I understand like for the Academy, it's hard to watch every film that's ever made. But if a foreign film puts in like Anatomy of the Fall, like I thought Anatomy of the Fall.
I still haven't seen that yet, but that's another one on our list.
It's a great and fantastic movie. And like I understand why it's nominated for Best Picture. And so, guys, give foreign films an opportunity. Give it an opportunity. 100%.
I know some people are wary about like subtitles and stuff like that,
See, I
but
grew up on subtitles.
That's what I'm saying. I can't. I need to know clearly what is going on. So
what they're saying.
Yeah. So like it's like a little script thing on there, so I can like fully understand like what
for me
is happening.
I watched closed captioning because I was like, my mom told me, hey, it's bedtime, 10:00. But when I was a kid, Jersey Shore came out on 10:00.
Oh my gosh, this is hilarious.
So I literally would shut the door, turn the mute like the volume all the way down, and turn on closed captioning, just so I could know what's going on.
You're
in
watching
Shore.
Jersey Shore on closed caption.
Hell
that is the
yes.
craziest show to watch on caption.
No, but it was fantastic because like if my mom caught me watching TV past bedtime, I'm getting my ass beat. So I gotta watch it though because everybody at school's talking about Jersey Shore. Everybody's talking about it.
You are a real connoisseur then of Jersey Shore, because that's great. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
No, but facts.
I'm reading the closed captioning on Jersey Shore. You're like, Sam, we saw like the note.
we saw Ronnie.
Like, and you're just reading that. You're like, I saw everything.
Yes. Um,
It's so funny.
let me one last movie that I would probably talk about. I mean, there's Gladiator. There's Lord of the Rings, of course.
A Beautiful Mind is also really good.
Beautiful Mind is an amazing movie that's not talked about enough.
No, that's another one. I watched it when I was really little, but I remember it being like.
To be honest, like out of all these movies that I have seen, they're all fantastic movies. So to be honest, I really don't see any bad movies that are on this list. Now, there's definitely in the past been movies that should have won, that should have been over this, but like now, 20 years later, I'm not mad about any of these movies being on here at all. So yeah, guys, watch more foreign films. Please watch more foreign.
They're
films.
Fantastic. Subtitles for life.
Subtitles. All right, so this next part, we always talk about our favorite movies, the movies that we've watched this week. Let's kick things off by talking about probably one of the movies of the year. I would easily say this is a contender
100%.
for a movie of the year.
No, it was amazing.
And
Fabulous. Everything.
if you haven't seen it, and I'm probably going to see it again this week.
Us too.
Let me know so we
Okay.
can go together.
I think we're trying to go Friday, but
Friday.
We'll see.
I got nothing to do Friday.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Perfect. We're talking about Dune 2.
Hell yeah.
Paul Atreides. I'm not going to lie. Okay, first of all, let me get the bad out the way.
Okay.
I think the worst part about this movie and this franchise is seeing Timothée Chalamet be him.
You're wild for saying that.
Real
Actually,
talk, Timothée Chalamet. Okay,
you're wild. You're
I'm
wild,
wild for saying
yeah.
that?
Because oh man, well, I've heard from like Dune heads that have been like that have read all the Dune books, and they say that like he is like
spot on.
yeah. Paul plays Paul perfectly.
Oh, I'm not saying that Timothée Chalamet is like doing a bad job. No, I think he's fantastic in this movie. I've seen his other movies. I think this is his best role. I think he really took this seriously. He read the books and he's playing Paul perfectly. I just can't take Timothée Chalamet seriously. As a human being, I can't take him seriously. Like he's a cool ass dude. Like it's not shitting on him or anything. Like he's a cool ass dude. He's a funny but he's like a goon, like in a good way, like in a good way. But like he's a goon, and like I can't take him as
Roman's Revenge.
Yeah. And I just can't take him seriously as like he's going to be.
I don't know.
The savior of all these people, like he's the Messiah. Like Timothée Chalamet don't give me Messiah vibes. That being said, it's a fantastic movie. It's fantastic. It has everything you ever want in a sci-fi movie, in a love movie, in a action movie. I don't know what else you would want. Like, to be honest, I give this a 9. And it's actually very close to being a 10. Like, very close to being a 10.
I agree totally.
I would say there's maybe a couple slow kind of parts, a little bit here and there. But, like, all in all, it's a fantastic movie.
No. It's, like, I remember, well, when we saw it, I think even with the first Dune as well, there's something... Even though it's a sci-fi, like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really big on sci-fi. Every sci-fi film I've watched is because my boyfriend suggested one, and I end up really loving them. And so Dune was kind of the same way. And so I was like, okay, we'll watch the first one, then we'll go see the second. And I was just amazed at the way this director uses just like how he like all the cinema, I don't want to call it I don't want to like, I don't even know what to call it, because it's like, is it CGI, is it animation, is it like I would love to like delve into that a little more, but just like kind of these design principles and these kind of art techniques that he uses in the film that make it so like the effects so great, so beautiful.
They were actually in the desert though.
Were they really
No,
in
they
the
really
desert?
were.
Oh, I didn't know
They were
that.
outside of Abu Dhabi.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
See, like, but no, I was just, but even like the way he plays with scale, like how like the desert is just so vast and there's barely anything there because it's all sand. But he uses things just like shapes and forms, and color and contrast
Yeah.
to, like, just kind of emulate all these things and to make it just a very artistic, beautiful, like piece of art. Like,
But also going back to scale is like you see Paul Atreides try to ride that worm, and you're like, oh, like the worm's not like crazy big or anything like that, but like at the end when those three worms come out
crazy.
and are destroying everybody, you're like that's the part of scope of like size that you're like, oh my god, like this man just rode all the, like, not even just him.
No, because you're
all these, the Fremen are just like riding these things that are so large.
insane.
Like, if you don't know what Dune's about, first of all, you have to watch the first movie. Like, there's no way you can skip the first movie. They kind of do a quick little summary, like recap at the beginning, but like not enough to like really fully understand what's going on.
And what I've been telling people is to kind of take the first movie as a foundational movie.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like the book. It's literally like, hey, the first part we're like, oh, something happens. Oh, my entire family dies. Then I'm stuck in the desert. Then I find the Fremen, and then they take me in. That's the whole first book, to be honest, or the first movie. But if you take like both movies in all totality, it's a perfect saga. Like the first movie bleeds right into the second movie, and it just makes an entire, like, I'm not gonna lie, I would go to the movie theaters and watch both movies back to back.
No, for sure.
I really would.
Yeah.
The first movie, it is a little slow and it's a little boring. I'm not gonna lie. Being honest,
But
it sets the foundation.
Yes,
though.
yes.
Things do actually happen in the first movie, but the second movie is bang after bang
So
after bang after
good.
bang, and it's not action. There is action though. There's training. There's learning. There's a little bit of comedy in it actually, which was
not cheesy either.
It wasn't cheesy.
It was
feel
very
forced.
well
And
integrated.
it was super well integrated, but I was surprised because the first movie
it's a very serious, like it's a serious subject, and yeah.
But basically, like the plot for Dune 2, again, Paul Atreides, his father got murdered. Everybody tries to kill him and kill his entire family. So the second movie is just basically like him getting his get back. Just, hey, I gotta be a part of the Fremen, and I gotta learn their ways. And then we need to take down the Emperor. We need to take down these people that have betrayed me and betrayed these people. But the thing is, the Fremen think that Paul Atreides is the Messiah. He's basically Space Jesus. And so some people worship him, some people don't. But he eventually wins people on his side, and they go to war.
They love Paul.
They love Paul.
They're like,
I'm not
Paul's.
gonna lie, I fell in love with Paul too.
He's great.
But you know who's really great? Zendaya.
Oh yeah, kills it.
Zendaya. So they changed a lot in the book.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Which is great because the book was made in 1965, and hey, guess what? Women are just as equal as men. Okay. Just as equal as men. So like women aren't just side characters. They have real full thoughts. They have real full lives and action. And like Zendaya's character, it's perfect. It makes sense. The way her character arc kind of ends makes perfect sense. And I loved it. Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya's chemistry is amazing.
I know.
I feel bad for Tom Holland.
No, but they're friends.
Oh yeah,
like
they're
besties.
Friends.
Like
I bet you as like actor friends,
Yeah.
I bet you like Tom Holland's laughing at when Timothée Chalamet kisses Zendaya. I bet she's laughing because he's just like.
I heard he was on set like quite
bet
he
you
like
is.
the whole time because like I know Zendaya in her interview she was like talking about like, oh yeah, he was the best on set.
Yeah,
or
I bet you he is.
Yeah.
Like, that's her.
He's
man.
a supportive man. Yeah.
Like Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet, they're a thing too. So like, which is a good couple. I actually am like.
I don't know.
actually
I
like it.
kind of I love them.
Yeah, like
I don't know. I'm for it.
no, but Dune 2, I would say this is just like Lord of the Rings, the Twin Towers. This is the Dark Knight from Batman Begins. It is an amazing, perfect second entry into this Dune series. There's definitely going to be a third movie.
Oh, for sure.
If not 4 movies.
At least 4.
There's 6
it needs
books.
to be
There's
at least
6
4.
full books. We're not doing all 6 books. Like that's too much movie. But Austin Butler. Can we talk about Austin Butler?
Oh yeah.
First of all, he was too bald.
No,
Okay,
he was hot as hell.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
Say that. No, you fucking didn't say that.
He was sexy as hell.
As a bald freak. As a bald freak.
Listen, everyone in that movie, like, they look great, but yeah, like for the Harkonnens too, like because I heard too, I didn't read Dune, but like I heard that the director took like these artistic liberties to like make again like make these decisions on like how the characters look and like what how to change things and stuff, and so. I don't know. I think in the realm of like all the Harkonnens.
Oh no!
I'm just like
it fits perfectly. It fits perfectly. It makes sense for his character, for that entire house. It makes sense. Dude, ugly as hell, bald. Also, like Austin Butler's charm. Some of the charm is in the hair.
You got to take it in context, though. Context, though. In context. Yeah, if I was on this, I'm like, damn, crazy.
So
I don't know.
And you're like, damn.
I don't know. Maybe even out of context. I was like, because even after when we saw the movie, we saw it with some friends, and another like our friend said the same thing, but her boyfriend was like, nah, he was hot.
So you're telling me if you saw him in full character out, you'd be like, damn.
Yeah.
No. All right, you're in denial.
I'm sorry.
But actually, I think what they did with Florence, I thought her character was actually very interesting because her character in the books is not really there. She's way more into the next book, which is Dune Messiah.
Okay.
But I actually loved how like she was like kind of like the reteller of the story, of like from her point of view of like, hey, this is what's going on, this is what's happening, and kind of like being that oracle. And in the next book, or at least in this first part, they didn't give her as much of a role in the books, but in this, you could tell that she is sneaky. She understands that, hey, there's things I can't do. There's things that I can't even fathom, but I'm still going to be the last man standing. And I loved that about her character because you could tell, oh, shit's going to happen in the next movie from her perspective.
For sure.
Like, Paul is not going to be this all be all person. So guys, yeah, highly recommend Dune 2.
Amazing.
We're going to see it again. We're seeing it again.
Even if you're not into sci-fi, go if you appreciate art, see it because there's some amazing imagery and the set design, the makeup, just everything, like costume. You would go for other things.
My wife does not care for sci-fi, and she was like, "Yeah,
loved it."
Yeah, she was like, "No, this is an amazing movie."
No, straight up, like it's so good.
Yeah. But speaking of amazing costumes and amazing people, you watched a movie where there was just some naked men a lot. There was a lot of men without shirts.
Yep.
What movie is that?
The Iron Claw, of course.
All right, so I really wanted to go see this movie. And one of my wife's favorite actors is Zac Efron, ever since High School Musical. But she didn't want to see him in a sad movie.
Can I just say, this is Zac Efron's best performance.
Really?
Like pivotal, I think.
Better than 17 again?
Oh, for sure. Like even if you grew up with Zac Efron and you see this movie, it is just amazing to see his growth like as an actor. Like you can't help but feel so proud of him. I know
Now I feel like I have to go see this.
No, and like the only thing I haven't seen with him in it recently was the Ted Bundy movie
Oh
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I forgot, extremely shocking,
Yep.
terrible, like
Saw that movie.
yeah, well, and I heard he was like really good in that too.
Yeah.
I personally just didn't want, I didn't get to, because like Ted Bundy freaks me out. True crime
I'm
freaks
glad.
me
I'm
out.
glad he
Yeah,
freaks
so
you
like
out.
it's just like yeah, it's like I'm like scared of that, so
Yeah.
yeah, I don't watch the movie. But no, Iron Claw though, like he's just he is in a very sad role because it's a extremely tragic story.
So tell me just a little bit about it.
Yeah, for
What's it
sure.
about?
I took some notes here because I just I just wanted to make sure I got all what I needed to say. But so I don't know how familiar are you with like
I know nothing.
wrestling? Nothing about, see, okay, I'm the same way. Didn't
Oh,
know.
about like professional wrestling?
Well, yeah, like wrestling,
Oh,
history of it,
I know
and
some of it. Yeah.
okay.
Something about it.
Okay. So and then also, did you know anything about like the Von Erich family?
Nope.
No? See, I didn't know anything about wrestling or the Von Erich family. And this movie is just like, it's about quote unquote the greatest family in wrestling ever. And
Better than the Rock's family?
apparently, again, I don't know much about wrestling, but a couple of points here. It is just like, a telling of these families, like tragedies that, like, when I say tragedy, it's just it's unbelievable what happens to this family. So this movie, it's based on a true story, and it's about the
So this really happens.
yes. So all this information, you could read about it on like a Wikipedia, you could learn about them just on Google, but like what they start. So the premise of this movie is just the story about this family, and kind of like the horrors and the kind of like the abusive nature of kind of what goes on in wrestling, but also, I don't know, it goes deeper than that. I will say it touches more on kind of the toxicity of being hyper masculine. So a lot of things,
Facts.
a lot of tones in this movie
That's a fact.
have to do with
Toxic masculinity?
yeah, but it's like hyper masculine, because I understand that they're like, especially with older men, and there's just like things that that make you feel like a man, and that's valid. But then what the problem is when you take those you take those intention, like, I don't know, you take those feelings and you use them in a very negative and hurtful way, aka in this family, the father in this movie, he's just a monster. He himself was a wrestler, and basically he didn't get the recognition that he got when he was in his prime as a wrestler. And and then because of that, how when he started his family, he wanted to make these kids wrestling stars. And
So he puts all that pressure and everything on his boys.
yes, and so even in the movie, he straight up says, who's my favorite, like in a ranking of like, this is why you're my favorite, this is why you're second, third. And so
Quick question.
Yeah.
Is that bad? Is that a bad thing? Because
it's a terrible thing.
Coach Prime does that. Like Deion Sanders, he does that for his kids.
I was like, I haven't seen Coach Prime.
Yeah, no. Deion Sanders for the Colorado, like he tells his kids, "Hey, you're my favorite this week. Like you're number 1, 2, 3, 4," and it's all his kids, and they're like, "Oh, we know, we're fine with it." Like, I didn't do the dishes. You're now 3.
Well, okay. So the tone of this movie, though, is
it's super serious.
Yeah, it's just because they're in a terrible situation, and like, I guess for Coach Prime that's like different. Maybe, I don't know. Again, I don't know about it.
She's
but
like, I'm not ranking my kids.
but yeah, it's just like this whole he gives this message of, my love is conditional, and the only way to earn my love is that you're physically the best, the strongest, the just hitting all these things that
Okay.
so it's just like he's a father, and they're, you know, and all of his kids are like incredible athletes. There's one brother in like the movie that is more into like the arts, but he like just talks down on him because he likes the arts. Like he likes music and stuff, and he's just like, why are you like, that's a girly thing,
Calls
it's
him
just
like
like
gay and stuff like that. Like,
he doesn't like, I don't think he like calls him gay, but it's just like
yeah.
he straight up says, you're
Yeah.
not my favorite because you do
You're
this.
not masculine.
Yeah.
You're not masculine because you don't. You're not physically fit. You're not this. You're not that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And but because of that, so you have all these you have all these brothers just competing for, one, their dad's love, and then two, like the like wrestling, like the
yeah.
audiences.
The atmosphere.
Yeah,
The
the
fans.
fans,
Yeah.
and they're competing like mentally because they're it's very strenuous, like
It's a lot. It's a lot of
yeah,
work.
just like on your body, and yeah, just like the nature of the sport.
So how many boys are there?
So I think in the movie there are actually, well, so in the movie there are technically five, like, because the Von Erichs had one son, um but like as a kid he passed away. So, and then I think the rest of the movie, I think, shows four.
Shows 4.
But
Pretty sure I saw 4 in the trailer.
yeah, but there's actually five. There were actually five brothers. They just took one out because, from what I've heard, the movie's so tragic that the director couldn't deal with, or
Just
not
didn't
deal
need-
not
just
deal
didn't
with
need
more
another-
tragedy. Just like
Yeah.
just kind of like not that like his story wasn't important by any means, but I feel like he kind of combines one of the brothers' stories with someone
Okay.
in the movie.
Okay.
So, but I think it's because, again, this family just faced so much death and tragedy, like after another, that he was like, I don't know if I can add
Yeah.
another. But yeah, just so anyway, but just it explains, like, yeah, it just shows like the hard and just toxic side of hyper masculinity, and you just like have all these conflicts between each other, and then which eventually leads to all of their downfalls, except for the oldest brother, I believe.
Zac Efron.
Yes, that's his
Yeah.
character. And yeah, so
So it sounds like a very sad movie, but like, is it good acting? Like,
oh no, it's like I said, this is Zac Efron's I think career pivotal role. Like, this
Really?
is, I think this is the role that, like, not to say he wasn't a serious actor, but like,
because he was like did, dumb movies. Like, he was always the hot guy. What was the movie with Seth Rogen? He was
yeah, like he's in
fraternity.
Neighbors, and like those are
Neighbors,
funny,
yeah.
and like
Yeah.
he's not a bad actor.
17 again.
Yeah.
The movie he was with Michael B. Jordan.
Which one was that one?
They were all trying to like have sex. They
Oh,
all found girlfriends.
Not Project X. Not
No, not Project X. He wasn't in Project
what
X.
was it? But it was like something like that.
Yeah.
We Are Your Friends.
Yeah.
We Are Your Friends. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, so like, and this is like his big time serious role. Jeremy Allen White's in this movie.
Oh yeah, he's also amazing in it too. He's kind of like he's more obviously like a supporting role. So
Yeah.
but yeah, he got
He's fit, and then he did that Calvin Klein ads. So
everyone saw that ad.
Um,
But yeah, no, he was fantastic, and he's very known for like his dramatic roles in like the bear and like Shameless, and yeah, I feel like he didn't have a lot of dialogue in this movie, but his character, I think he's Carrie Von Erich, but he plays the favorite, quote unquote. I think he was, oh man, I'm just really trying not to give spoilers, but yeah, he's like the pro athlete of the, like, they're all pro athletes, but he, I think, was going to go to the Olympics, and like he was like
Olympics.
yeah,
Okay.
or no, it was like an athlete for different sports.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so what would you rate this movie?
I'd definitely give it like a 9 out of 10.
Ooh, solid 9.
Yes.
Okay.
I just think it's a story that a lot of people need to watch and hear. Also, I had a newfound appreciation for wrestling and the sport in general as entertainment. I know like now it's pretty staged and like fake for the most part, but there is like extreme things that these guys do like athletically.
These people are not like fake athletes. Like yeah, it's fake but like
to an extent.
To an extent. But no, they come out with bones and like bruises and like scratches. They jump off things and they do actually get hurt like physically and tear shit. And like it's a real time like sport.
Oh yeah. So that coupled with all the
pressures
shit,
and stuff like that.
all the shit that this family went through, it's crazy. So I just I do think it's a 9 out of 10 watch. I recommend anyone to go see it. If you're a fan of Zac Efron, yes, please go see it.
He's naked most of the time.
But I mean, that's another thing. They're all super buff, and
so I'm just trying to look at hot guys. If you're Joe, I know you're going to listen to this, so this is
I was
going to
say I will say it's not super sexy, but it's just because the sad really overcomes it. But
the sad does not make it sexy at all.
But I mean, no, I was gonna say just because they are super buff. Like I heard people, complaining that like, no, like they don't even look like the Von Erichs, and it's like the actual Von Erich family, crazy, humongous dudes. They're jacked, like they're and
like
I'm like
steroids.
Yeah, I'm like there's no one in Hollywood that can do that to them.
Yeah,
like so. But yeah, anyway, fantastic movie. Just highly recommend.
All right, can't wait to check it out.
Yeah.
All right, this is the part where we start telling you guys about some of the TV shows we've watched this week. I'm going to start off by telling you a show that's probably going to be in the contender for best show. Actually, this is a stacked year, first of all. House of Dragons coming back. Cannot wait. We got season 3 of The Bear. But this newcomer, Shogun, that's on Hulu. I don't know how many episodes there's going to be. And as of this recording, there's 3 episodes out. And when I tell you, first, I just needed something to like scratch that Game of Thrones itch.
For sure. Yeah.
That secession itch. I love a great power dynamic. Like when people are like fighting over power and like, I want the throne or I want this company and stuff like that. And so Shogun is a Japanese show. Is basically like this is what happens. It's based on like feudal Japan. The shogunate, he dies. He's dead, and what happens is his son is only like a little teen, like he's barely even a teenager, and he's like, "Hey, I want you 5 councilmen to run the country until my son becomes of age." 1 year later, all of a sudden, one of the guys who the shogunate actually was his favorite. Mm-hmm. The other 4 are like, fuck this guy. Like, hey, we want more power. We're going to take over. So fuck you. And basically like hold him hostage because they have to legally be able to kill him and stuff like that. They're not trying to just assassinate him. And so there's a huge power dynamic because of this, of like who's trying to become the real person of power. And he has to protect himself. And that in comes white man.
The Anjin.
Anjin, yes. The Anjin.
The pilot.
His name is John.
Blackthorn?
Yeah, Blackthorn.
Yeah.
Basic ass English name. So he is an Englishman who's traveled around the world. He's not Catholic, he's Protestant. And he is sent on a mission to kill all Catholics, basically. He's from England. They hate the Spanish and the Portuguese. Portugal has already arrived in Japan, and they talk about how they've converted a lot of these Japanese people into Christianity, mm-hmm. into becoming Catholic. And so this Protestant guy finally lands in Japan. They've been traveling. They've almost died. He gets captured. And then they're just like, hey, who are you? What do you want? And stuff like that. And they're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. But what happens is this guy tells them, after they finally go through some trials and tribulation, he tells them, hey, I'm just letting you know all these Catholics that's been here are trying to take you over. Spoiler alert, white people are bad. And so he's basically saying, hey, like, imagine this. Imagine you don't even know the rest of the world exists. You only know China. You know about China. You know about Korea. But you really don't know about Europe.
Everything else, yeah.
Yeah. And so you start to see these white people, and they come in. They're like, hey, we're good people. We're just trying to show you my religion. You're like, oh, cool. Like, what's up? And then guess what? Some people fall for it. And then all of a sudden, this random other white guy from another country that you didn't even know exists. First of all, you didn't know queens were a thing. Because back then, women suck. But you don't know queens even exist. And then this guy tells you, hey, all these Catholics that are here are just trying to convert you and to take over. They already claimed your land. All of Japan is owned by the Portuguese. You belong to them. You are nothing but just some savages, barbarians. We don't care about you. So we're going to just whoever's in power right now, we're going to replace it with one of our Catholic people, one of our Catholic Japanese people. That way we know we can always control them. We can control this land without having to, send an army and stuff like that. And that blows one of the guys' mind that's on the council. And he's like, oh my God.
Flip of a switch.
Because other people on the council are Christian. They're Catholic. So that's who's trying to replace them. And so now it's all about a power dynamic of who's really going to be in charge, who's going to be this. I've only watched the first 3 episodes, guys. And when I tell you that this show, acting phenomenal. Phenomenal. The way that it's shot is beautiful. I love the actual dynamic of because I hate when, white guy goes to another country and then learns and then becomes one of them. And then, then he saves the day. And it's like, oh, cool. One of us. I don't get that vibe from this. I get the vibe of
there's going to be a fight.
Yeah, it's like,
it's going to be a massive fight.
Thank you for this information.
Yes.
We're going to start killing other people.
Yes.
You can help join us and stuff like that, but he's not the leader. He's not the savior. He's not the person in control, which I actually am super glad about. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm like, guys, I'm going to be honest. So far, 10 out of 10.
No, it's fantastic.
It's a 10 out of 10 show, and I'm just going to go on a limb. I'm going on a limb, okay? I want you to know first from Double Trouble Features. We're going to be talking about this show for decades.
Can't wait.
We're going to be talking about this show for decades because it's good.
No.
What are your thoughts?
Oh no, I everything you just said, but also learning about the cultural aspect of it too.
Yeah.
Because I've talked about it with some of my friends about them just even learning about Japanese culture, samurais, and I don't know if you heard the question about would you rather be a cowboy samurai or pirate? That's been
easily samurai. What? Why is that even?
Have you heard about? No, it was a question on TikTok that people were asking their boyfriends because apparently there was one obvious answer apparently, but
who said cowboy?
Thad said cowboy. Sorry, my boyfriend said cowboy.
What?
Yeah, because he said that he was like, I feel like it could be the easiest or the most no, not as difficult
difficult.
Yeah,
I guess it's easier to be a cowboy.
Just because samurais, they're there's lots of suicide. There's lots of honorable things that you have to uphold.
Episode,
you have to it's crazy.
This dude was struggling and he thought he was going to die in the ocean, and he whipped out his sword. He was like, I'm going to kill myself right now. That way I just go out on my own terms. And I was like, what are we doing?
Isn't that crazy though? It's just like, it's all about like, you
Honor,
know,
it's all
honor,
about...
respect,
Yeah.
and lineage. And yeah, you just see, I mean, obviously because it's about Japan, but I just feel like a lot of people are learning about it and are learning about like, oh, this is like why they feel this way or why they act in this way or, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
but
my wife literally was like, why was all their hair like that? Like shaved right in the middle and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's a beautiful world, first of all.
Also, graphic.
Very graphic.
Yeah. Definitely just shows cutting off heads, like just straight up with the sword. Yeah.
I'm about that life.
So if you have an easy stomach for that stuff.
Okay, it's not like gory or anything.
It's not gory, but it's like the thought. Because like you see a man getting boiled.
Okay, like, so because I watch anime, like I knew that
that's why.
That's no, like because I watch anime, like I knew that was like a torture like way, like they tortured people back in the day, and like death by boiling. Like in the show, guys, like they literally, he's screaming at his top for hours,
for like 5 minutes in the show, like in
the show it's like a couple minutes, but like in real life, like you can survive boiling water for a while before you are actually like dead, unless you have a heart attack. But it's crazy because like I always ask my wife, like, which one would you rather die from? Would you rather drown or would you rather be caught on fire? And that's just both. That's just both in one. And that's the worst one out of all of them.
Dang. No, it was just, but yeah, that was like very graphic and crazy. And I was like, my mouth was open. I was just like, what the?
Yeah, you see the skin and everything. Yeah. No, but fantastic show.
Great.
Again, I'm just calling it now. It's probably going to be best show of the year. Best show.
I can agree.
For the next, how many seasons we get.
I definitely see. And I know that's coming a lot from you because, there's like articles out there saying it's the next Game of Thrones, like kind of epic feeling. And so, very excited about it.
It scratched that itch the second I saw it. I was like, the second I watched the first couple scenes, I was just like, oh, I'm getting, because the main character, Ned Stark. He's the definition of Ned Stark. Honorable, good guy that just wants to do the right and then gets fucked over by some evil people. That's Ned Stark. So I know you really haven't watched Game of Thrones, so you don't even know who Ned Stark is.
I've seen like the Game of Thrones shows I have watched, or like the episodes.
It's the first season. He's the dad.
Gotcha. I've watched literally the second to last episode of Game of Thrones, and I think like the Red Wedding or something.
Did you come over to watch the season finale?
No, I don't think so. I think, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, that was another Midori. But anyway.
But yeah, I saw, yeah.
But speaking of like, our HBO shows, good HBO shows.
Yeah.
What'd you watch?
True Detective Night Country.
Okay, so I have seen the first season True Detective, and I've seen part of the second one, and it just wasn't hitting like the first one.
Okay.
Like the first one with Matthew McConaughey, amazing.
Oh, like, the first one's great.
Like one of the best seasons I've seen of like television. So, but after the second one, I was like, I'm kind of cool. Like I don't need it. And then like I've seen some bad reviews or anything like that. And so I've seen a lot of mixed reviews about this show, and I've thought about like kind of getting back into it. How was it?
Oh, it was great. I will say that for anyone who hasn't seen the show, I need to premise that this show is not about you or for you, if that makes sense. So because the theme of the show, where it takes place, it's indigenous people in Alaska is like kind of the whole theme. There's an indigenous cop that's the partners together, so they're like, it's just, I see all the bad reviews I see about it is because I feel like people get wound up in like, oh, it's not like the Woody Harrelson one, or it just doesn't feel, and it's just like, well, it's two women that are honestly like, they're assholes just like Woody Harrelson. And they basically, I mean, they just kind of act like similarly to those cops like from the first season, but I feel like people's, feathers are ruffled because they're women. It's not traditionally whatever
Yeah,
how women act
because it's
or
what Jodie Foster is the main character,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And
And Callie Reese.
yeah,
And yeah, it's just like it's just a different dynamic. And so again, this takes place in remote rural Alaska.
yeah,
And the themes out there, like they're it's all snow, and Alaska has like limited sun. So during this time that they're filming the show, it's there's no sun.
there's no
It's
sun.
just
Yeah,
it's always at night. There's limited resources because they are in this remote town, and all you have is like the indigenous community that lives there, and the cops, and you also have this I don't know what you'd call it, like a company that
corporation.
yeah, a corporation that has been just I don't know, like
They're studying, like
they're
studying
doing
something.
they're
Right?
studying stuff, but then like there's a group of scientists that they freeze up in like the middle like of a remote part of like outside the town, but they're just like they're doing some illegal shit there. And so but yeah, that's just kind of like where it's at, and they're doing things that are like ruining it's like poisoning in the town's water, it's like ruining the environment that they're in, and like just overall kind of like messing with like their geographical stuff and their
Yeah,
climate, and
yeah.
just like it talks more into about that, but yeah, but I just think because of like it's about indigenous people, I'm not sure if people are really understanding. And also since Jodie Foster is also in it, she's the
Is
the
she
main
the
character.
executive producer of this one?
Yes,
Too?
yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I think she does like very like selective roles now.
She
I think she's
does.
more of like a producer, director type thing. But I think if you really like Silence of the Lambs,
Ooh.
I think you really like this because it is slow building, but it's because it's slow building and gathering all these information and turning to like another thing, and then it's like turning to another thing, and it's so, and I know it's like duh, it's detective work, but yeah, it's just like it kind of gives those vibes, and it talks
Okay.
about like, and when I say indigenous, there's subjects that they talk about, like spirits and stories,
Yeah.
and like protest, and just like all this
Okay.
stuff. But yeah,
Does it have a good payoff at the end?
I think so. I could have personally, I wish the ending had at least like one more episode to like describe, not just like go into more like what happens,
Okay.
because I guarantee you when you watch it, some people were like, oh, what the heck, like that was so short, like why did they do that? But I think it's a really cool ending, and I think it's also based on a lot of truth that happens like in reservation type towns. So yeah, I think it was great, and I am glad that they took those liberties, those artistic liberties, to kind of bring to light like what
So,
indigenous people go through.
what would you rate it?
um I'd rate it a 7 out of 10, just because it's awesome, it's great, and I loved it. But I know, well, I mean, I'm giving it a 7 because like I'm not gonna say it's like the best show I've ever seen. Like I'd pick Shogun over this,
Yeah.
but it's not like terrible in any way, or it's not even average. Like it's just
Okay.
like it's a very decent show, and like I think people should watch it.
Oh, people should watch it. Okay. Yeah. Again, it's HBO. HBO really don't put out bad shows.
No.
So, yeah, no, I'm definitely going to watch this. This was definitely one on my radar. I started it and then I lost Wi-Fi, and so yeah, I'm ready to pick back up.
I will say, if you're just not into slow burning shows, then like I don't think you're gonna like it.
Yeah, I don't think my wife will like this.
But if you are, definitely, and also just like detective criminal work.
Yeah.
If you're interested in that, but I know some people aren't, so it's
Okay.
just whatever.
All right, so for the last part of this episode, we're going to wrap up. Actually, no, we're not going to wrap up. But we are at the end of Love is Blind. Now, here's the best part. Midori, you have not watched Love is Blind, have you?
No, just like the first 2 seasons.
Okay, so
it.
this next season, it's wild. But I'm not going to tell you all the characters, and I'm going to tell you everything that's going to happen because that'll make this episode 2 hours long. But we're going to go to some of our core players.
Okay.
All right, so I just want you to know about this person. These couple people. So this person's named Chelsea, right?
Okay.
She's the one that you've heard about, the Megan Fox looking person.
Yes.
Okay, that's Chelsea.
Okay.
Then you have Jimmy. Jimmy looks like a thumb.
Jimmy.
He looks like a fucking thumb.
Okay.
All right, so Chelsea and Jimmy, they were in the pod. Jimmy liked this other girl named Jessica. Jessica looks way closer to Megan Fox than Chelsea does.
Oh, so there is like an actual person that looks like Megan
No,
Fox
yeah,
in the
no,
show.
like Jessica's hot. She's a mom. Oh, look at her. Look at a picture of her. Look.
I think these are all really pretty people.
First of all, okay,
They're
can we
all-
go back to Love is
Oh, is it?
Blind? Why are we not picking average-looking people? Like, I feel like for the guys are kind of average, but all these girls are very beautiful.
Yeah.
I need more 4s.
Everyone's
I
gorgeous.
need more 3s. I need to see if love is really blind. Because you know what? Because, hey, guess what? Personality 10 out of 10. Can you actually date somebody that you think is ugly as hell? But anyway, so Chelsea's not a bad looking girl. Not at all.
No. Beautiful.
So Chelsea so at the end of the pods, Jimmy picks Chelsea
Okay.
over Jessica.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
But remember, Chelsea says I look like fucking Megan
Fox. Okay.
So he sees her and he's like, oh, okay. Okay. So they get out of the pods. Chelsea is very, very emotional. She's super. She wants more affection, and the entire time Jimmy really doesn't do that much. To prove that he like really likes her and stuff like that. And you definitely get the vibe that like he's not attracted to her.
Okay.
Chelsea's friends literally come over one night, and the first thing she talks about is another guy in the pod. So the other guy in the pod, his name's Trevor. Trevor literally was like, you're the only girl for me. I want you. Trevor's her type. Trevor's a great fucking guy, and Trevor wants her the entire time.
Okay.
But Jimmy proposed first.
Okay.
Trevor literally asked her, hey, if I would have got there first, would you have said yes? She says yeah. She doesn't say anything. So you know she has feelings for Trevor.
That's wild.
So wild.
But also, I don't know. That's like, this show is crazy.
Yeah, this show's crazy. So anyway, so they go to DR. They have like a little tiff here and there on some bullshit, whatever. You could tell Jimmy is still not into her. But she wants more validation. She wants this and that. And Jimmy's like, bro, I can't give you everything. I can't give it to you. And at first you're like, Jimmy, you're just being an asshole. Like, she just wants more love. She wants more time and everything like that. Here's where it kind of gets weird.
Okay.
So
I'm scared.
So literally imagine this, okay? Like you're with your boyfriend and everything like that.
Yeah.
In the pods, he said that, oh, he's not a partier. He doesn't really like go out. He's like mostly a homebody.
Okay.
Jimmy is like, hey, I want to, like, Jimmy goes out. Celebrate his friend's birthday party.
Okay.
And it's a lot of his fraternity brothers and some of their girlfriends or wives. He's gone for like an hour and a half, 2 hours max. Comes back home. Chelsea is just like, you told me you weren't a partier. And he's like, what? She's like, no, you told me you weren't a partier. You told me you weren't going to go out and stuff like this. And he's like, it's just for a birthday party. Like, I was just not that gone.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm with you every single day, all the hours.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you're this, you're that. Like, you lied to me. Like, I don't know if I want to be with the man that's like this. I don't know if I want to be with the guy that wants to party all the nights and everything like that. And then she's like, you were out with all these cast people. And he's like, no, I wasn't.
Like the Love is Blind
Yeah.
cast? Okay.
He's like, no, I wasn't. I was with my fraternity brothers. She's like, and then she's like, was Jess there? What? Jessica? No, she wasn't there. He was like, I heard that Jessica was there.
Who? But who heard?
He's like, who said that? Mackenzie? Yeah, Mackenzie said. Like, no. So like, in this argument,
Yeah.
she's literally fishing.
Yeah.
On some bullshit.
It's like looking for stuff.
And he's like,
To probably end it, right?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, like, you are being crazy. And she is like, he's like, you're just sitting here drunk at home and you're talking about all this bullshit. And he's like, you don't love me. Or she's like, you don't love me. And he's like, what?
What?
Like, you're like, she's crazy.
Well, no, just like, it sounds like yeah, she just doesn't like this dude, and she's trying really hard to like find something.
She wants him.
Oh,
That's
really?
all.
Okay.
Yeah, because they meet.
Then why would you do that? Because I feel like that just would drive him.
Nobody knows.
Like, you can't let out all your crazy like all at once. You know, you gotta like
yeah,
sprinkle it over time. Like,
no. So even later, he's like, why'd you bring up Jess and everything like that? And she's like, I don't know. He's like, cause you're like, I just want to be with you and everything, and you told me you're not a partier. And he's like, bro, I went to a birthday party, had one drink for an hour and a half.
That's
what
like
are we doing?
That's like nothing too. That's like not a lot of time either.
No, and so Jimmy also during this time he met Jess for the first time, like in person, and like he's like, yeah, you were definitely obviously like my number one pick in the pod, but he said some things, little red flags here and there. Also, I really don't think Jess has a kid, and I don't think Jimmy was ready to be a father.
There was like other things that probably led him to like proposing, and it's like, yeah, you should. I don't know. You should feel pretty secure if like,
yeah,
if he like, I don't know.
But so
okay,
imagine you got proposed to, and this person, your husband tells you, or your fiance tells you, hey, I don't know if I can do this anymore because you go out and party and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that'll kind of turn you off a little bit, right?
I guess.
Like he's dead serious about this. So what happens is they go on their final date before they get engaged, and Chelsea's like super happy. They're going on roller coaster rides and stuff like that. And then she's like, yeah, I'm super ready to like get married. I'm super happy. Like, I want to be with you. And he's like, no, I'm breaking off right now. Because that night I asked, hey, I asked him, he was like, do you not love me? And he's just like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. And she threw this in his face.
Okay.
She met his friends.
Yeah.
His friends are girls. He has like a lot of girlfriends.
Okay.
And he told her, not on camera. He's like, yeah, I slept with one of the girls, but that was time ago. We're just friends. They met and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And when they were arguing, she threw that in his face. And he's like, if you're not going to like respect this, like they're my friends, like no matter what, like I can't do this. I understand, like, you know, some girls don't like, you know, girlfriends and everything like that. But like, if he's like, hey, I introduced you to my girlfriends, you said this is okay and everything like that.
I think you should definitely be upfront if it like bugs you
Yeah.
like immediately,
Yeah.
because you just like lying and then like throwing it later. That's
Throwing
like,
it later
because
in an argument.
I'm not gonna lie, that would make me uncomfortable. It kind of would.
Yeah.
And but I'm also, I would straight up tell you
Yeah.
and just be like, yeah, so you, I don't know if I like that. Just like
No, and
just talking about it.
but at the same time, like I did not like Jimmy at the beginning. Respect him now because
okay.
while she was drunk saying all this stuff, he was like, "Do you want me back off from hanging out with my friends?" And she was like, "Yes." And he was like, "Well, I'm not going to." And like, he stood his ground. Like that's my thing. It's like it's different if like, hey, all you're doing is spending your time with your friends. You're not respecting me or anything like that. But it's just like, hey, I went out for a birthday party, and you want me to back off more?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm standing my ground as a man, and like,
also, like, as of right now, he just met this person too.
and that's the reality of these things.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like people forget like this is Love Is Blind, but this has actually only been 3 weeks.
Yeah, not even a month. Like,
not even a month.
it's a crazy situation.
Yes.
And like the couples that have made it through, like I feel like all the couples that made it through, they're pretty like understanding of each other and just like heard each other out.
Yeah.
Even though they were, it was like a short amount of time. But yeah, I just like, I think early on, yeah, she should have just been like, this makes me uncomfortable. Also, I feel like people just go about things in a very hostile way sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I used to be like that, like when I was a teenager. But like,
this girl is like she's divorced,
right? But it's like
she's added like she's 30.
Like you've lived life, so it's like you reacting
She's
a certain
31.
way. Crazy. It's just because like I just feel like you would react a different way. Like if this was a 30-year-old relation, like 30-year-old together, like you just. This sounds like a conversation for like a teenager.
100 million %.
If that makes sense.
And that's the thing that like I started to realize like with Chelsea, it's just like Chelsea, you are too much. Like you're wanting this, and it's just like you're like you can tell she's super insecure.
Yeah.
And it's just like I don't think within, a month I can fix your insecurities. And this ring is not going to fix your insecurities.
No, not at
all. And so like with me and my wife, like she was insecure about stuff. I was insecure about stuff. But like, we took years and like we've overcome insecurities and stuff like that. And you know what? We got married and I thought all insecurities are gone. No, there's still insecurities. And that's okay. But as long as you're working through those insecurities, that's all that matters.
And growing together.
Yes, but
yeah,
when you have insecurities in a month, that's not going to get better anytime soon. And I can't just be like, yeah, I can marry you now. Like
using marriage as like a answer to your problems is not.
Will end up in divorce. Every single time.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, no,
for sure.
It's so happy for Jimmy. Actually,
so they're not together.
They're not together. They did not end together.
Dang.
I'm actually very happy. But this next couple we have is Amy and Johnny.
Amy and Johnny.
They're your typical, they're going to make it.
They're going to make it?
They made it.
Cool.
They made it to the end.
Good.
Hey, so basically.
Are they cool?
Amy, Johnny hit it off the entire time in the entire pod.
Cool.
They were good. This is the only hiccup. They haven't had sex.
Damn.
And
like before getting married?
Yeah. No sex. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Johnny, he says, hey, I want to retire at 50. Which I don't know how you're doing in this economy. But he is so nervous about having a kid that he's like, hey, I'm not going to, like, we're not going to have sex unless you're on birth control.
Huh.
And she's like, I don't know if I really want to do birth control because, it affects my hormones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, every girl I've ever been with, has been on the pill and stuff like that. And so, the simple solution that everybody thinks is just wear a fucking condom. But he's scared that he will still get her pregnant if he wore a condom. So that's literally his only flaw. is he doesn't understand the woman body and understands that, hey, birth control is not just it fixes everything. Use a fucking condom and pull out, bro. It's not that hard. It's not that hard at all. But they do love each other. Dad gave the blessing.
Okay.
They actually do look happy together
Okay.
the entire time.
Hmm.
And they get married.
Okay. Well, interesting. Not my relationship. But
You're like, I got to try it out before I get married.
well, I mean, like, I think there are things that are important. Like, I just feel like traditional marriage, I mean, nothing about this is traditional, but,
Facts.
you know, just like traditional marriage, I don't think I don't think it works well, like, nowadays because, you know, I feel like you just have to know the person and, like, know how they live and, you know, just, like, make sure you guys are compatible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but, you know, if it works for them, just wish them luck.
Yeah.
Don't know them, but
Facts.
that sounds kind of weird.
No, 100%. I think they figured it out,
Mm-hmm.
but you know.
Okay.
Now here's the craziest couple. So you had
Is this a 3 couple?
this is Jeremy.
Okay.
Jeremy is just your average weird white guy. Okay?
Okay.
Like, look at him.
I gotta
Look at
Let
him.
me
He's
see.
just your average looking, like, tech kind of looking guy.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Got it.
So he dates 2 girls in the pod. He dates Sarah Ann and Laura.
Okay.
Okay. He picks Laura at the end.
Okay.
So him and Laura really hit it off. They're starting to be great and everything like that. They're enjoying their time.
Mm-hmm.
She does not like now he has a fetish with Hawaiian shirts. Like, he really likes Hawaiian shirts, which is perfectly okay.
Like for himself?
Yeah, for himself. He
Okay.
wears it. Laura hates it. Like, really hates it. Like she brings it up all the time. Like, it's like, if you pick this guy, you want to marry him, and he likes Hawaiian shirts, just get over it, you know?
Yeah.
But it really bothers him or her.
Is that all he wear? He's not wearing a Hawaiian shirt here.
No, but he wears it often.
Okay.
He wears it often, but not every single time.
Interesting.
So here's
Okay.
the thing. They look fine. They look okay.
Yeah.
Laura got, sometimes she kind of, checks him a little bit, like, here and there, and they kind of look like they talk shit a little bit, but, sometimes in a relationship, you kind of, like, banter a little bit here and there. It's
Yeah,
it's
that's
okay.
normal. Yeah, yeah.
One episode, all of a sudden, at the very end, Laura's like, where the fuck were you? Jeremy goes out with cast members one night, and Sarah Ann, like his second choice,
Oh my gosh.
was out. And Jeremy, he said, you know what? I'm not going to let her dictate, like, what I do. I'm going to still hang out and, like, go out with the cast members. And so all of a sudden, Jeremy doesn't get home till like 6 a.m. in the morning.
That's not getting. that's crazy.
So this is what he did. This is what he tells her. He was like,
He left for the night and is.
he tells her, hey, me and Sarah Ann went to talk. We drove to this parking lot, parked in the parking lot, and just talked.
Okay. About what?
I have a question. If your man went till 6 a.m. to talk to a girl,
That's not me.
his ex.
That's not me.
He comes home and he didn't text you or anything. Like, he comes home. How are you reacting?
Well, one, I'm gonna be worried. One, if I don't know so I know that he's with.
No, you don't.
Okay. Well, the one, I'm being like super worried. I'm probably like
Pissed
calling
off.
calling up everyone like where the hell he is.
Yeah.
Like, but
So
I guess that would be my first response.
So get this. Jeremy's defense. He's like, hey, I shared you my location. Because my first thing is, if you're out with your ex until 5 a.m., 6 a.m., I'm thinking you're fucking.
But he doesn't know she doesn't know.
He tells her, hey, I was out with Sarah Ann.
Oh,
till 5 a.m.
Okay, but like during the time when he was not
Oh, yeah.
here, she didn't know.
She did not know.
So this is her. Okay.
Yes.
If I found out,
Yeah.
you'd be dead
Oh. Ooh.
on site.
Oh, on site.
Yeah,
On site,
for
dead.
sure.
But he was like, hey, I shared my location with you. And she said, oh, really? You think that's okay not to text me or anything like that? But also, bitch, do not share your location with me if you don't want me to check your location. Turns out he wasn't at the parking lot.
Oh my gosh, no
He
way.
was at Sarah Ann's
No
place.
way. Rookie move.
Rookie move. I think he
like very confident that he was like, yeah, this'll be.
Oh, he gives off an
this'll
asshole
be.
kind of vibe.
Oh man. And the Hawaiian shirt.
Well, I'm dead.
I'm honestly more. I'm interested. I want to unpack that whole thing, but
so Laura calls it off.
Yeah.
Obviously, beginning of the next episode, like mom's like, he meets his mom, and his mom was like, "You're lucky it wasn't me because I'll beat your ass."
That's a very normal,
100%
natural response.
But here's where it gets juicy.
Oh God!
So that was just the super juicy part. So then they do the whole reunion where everybody gets to meet each other, what they look like.
Yeah.
Sarah Ann comes, and Jeremy's there, talks to Laura, and they start arguing like, "I didn't want to talk to you, blah blah blah. Like you lied to me. This is some bullshit, blah blah blah." And he's like, "Fuck this." And he goes talk to Sarah Ann. And, well, here's the thing. Now, here's where I forgot to mention this little caveat. Sarah Ann DM'd him after the pods when they finally got their phones. And she said, "Hey, thank you for the experience. I really enjoyed it. And if you and Laura don't work out,
hit me up.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
No.
I don't think.
Because it's the show and that's
He double tapped and it gave it like either thumbs up or a heart emoji, whatever. But that's his only reaction. I don't think that's a bad reaction. I don't think just double tapping, acknowledge. He didn't text back or anything like that. I don't think a double tap is bad. She DM'd and said, "Hey, I'm open." And I don't think that's bad on her part. Because again, she had a real love connection with him. Spent 10 days with him.
It'd just be trying. Like, I'm trying to relate these to the context of the show because, like, in real life, you know.
Yeah, no, real life, fuck no. Yeah, fuck no.
But I don't know. I guess. I guess.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So, anyway, they all meet at the party, and people are confronting Sarah Ann. And, like, this other chick that we're going to get into, her name is AD, talks like, you don't see a problem with, like, you trying to get with her man and everything like that? And she's like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I just said to him, hey, if your relationship isn't working for you, hit me up. It's all on Jeremy. I don't know why anybody's mad at Sarah Ann. I don't think Sarah Ann did anything wrong. And again, that is just people blaming the woman on this. This is all Jeremy. Jeremy's the one who went 5 a.m. to be with Sarah Ann. Jeremy's the one who told Sarah Ann, I'm probably going to close it off with Laura. Jeremy's the one who's playing both sides. It's not Sarah Ann's fault.
I don't think it's her fault, but I think it's just more of like basic respect.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But again, in her defense, she's like, I had a real genuine love with you. And I really enjoyed you. Like, I really want to continue that.
Yeah, but in the sense of like everything, like he picked the other girl.
Bro, in 10 days? In 10 days?
I know in 10 days. But I'm talking, but if we're still talking in the sense of the show, yeah, I do think that's like, I think it's like a little disrespectful.
Yeah, just a little bit of disrespect, but like at the same time, I'm not mad at her for that.
I guess she's trying because it's like,
She's trying. She shot her shot.
I love my Hawaiian shirts.
Exactly. And guess what? I know he got some ass that night. There's no way he didn't get an ass.
But no one, it hasn't been said.
Hasn't been said, but again, we grown ass adults. Like he's what, 32 and she's 30? There's no way. She bad too.
Crazy.
There's no way we staying up till 5 a.m. and ain't smashing.
That's crazy.
So anyway, at the party, Laura, Jeremy,
break up.
Fuck you. Fuck out, blah, blah, blah. Then he's like, goes to Sarah and kind of comforts her because like they've been talking shit and they're both like, you know what, fuck all of them. They go on jet skis and are like super happy and are like fucking rubbing it kind of in Laura's face. And that's the last time you see Jeremy and Sarah Ann.
Really?
Yeah.
Like ever?
Yeah.
Damn.
Love it though. Good for Sarah Ann. Jeremy, you're a fuck.
Got it.
Now, last couple. Now here's a couple. You have Clay and AD.
This is
Okay, they're the black couple.
crazy.
All right,
Okay.
Clay is your typical fuckboy.
Okay.
Typical fuckboy. He has a lot of trauma.
Okay.
He talks about how
Okay.
him and AD in the pods. He asked AD, "How do you look? I cannot be with a woman that doesn't look, banging." Which defeats the whole purpose.
What's what? That's a. I don't know what I would do if someone said to me, "Do you look banging?"
Okay, he didn't say that, but like he just said
He's like, "Do you look?
like hot?
Are you hot?" I'd be like, "I think I'm pretty great." Like I don't know.
Like, that turned 80 off. A little
Yeah,
bit,
for sure. That would turn me off. Yep.
But they work it out, and they
Crazy.
proposes.
Okay. What?
So the entire time, Clay is just saying, "Hey, I've been married. Like, I've watched, a divorced house. His parents were together for 24 years, but he went on trips with his dad where his dad cheated and all the time and stuff. So he's
bad
like
father figure.
He's like, all I think about is I hope I don't cheat on you. Like, I hope I don't cheat on you.
What?
But it's just nonstop. Like, that's the only thing he talks about is like, I hope I don't cheat on you. Please do not let me cheat on you.
Sounds like a Tristan Thompson. It's a wild Love Is Blind season. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so keeps on talking about like how he like cheating in his DNA.
Yeah.
Like he looks up to men like P. Diddy and Will Smith. He looks up to those relationships, and I'm just like, bro, what are we talking about?
That's crazy.
This man just got accused of sexual assault again.
That's crazy.
So,
but then I'm assuming, does he cheat?
there's no cheating.
Okay.
They're entrepreneurs and they don't really get on the same page at all on their time schedule, but they love each other. 80 really does love Clay. And here's my thing about Clay.
I want to know why.
I kind of root for Clay a little bit because the cheating is like having that in your mind all the time, that he just needs to get that shit out of his mind. But I understand like him coming from a standpoint of like, I've been a fuckboy my entire life. And like he's probably cheated on girls and stuff like that. He's probably whatever. And now he's trying to turn the corner. And he's in a position of like,
trying to get better.
I'm trying to get better for you. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this.
Okay.
But also, I think he came into this situation not ready for a marriage.
No.
He was like he's fine with a girlfriend and stuff like that, but not ready for like real time.
Yeah, because like that's the big leagues. That's
yes. And so like, because at one point, like here's an example. Clay at one like 80 is complaining about like how he doesn't spend enough time with her, and like at one night Clay chose to stay at another house, like another rental, for the night instead of staying with her because it was closer to the client that he has to go to the next morning. And in 80's mind it's like, what the fuck? Why are you not coming?
Yeah.
But I kind of get it from Clay's perspective of like, he's not viewing this as like, you're my fiance or like you're about to be my wife. He's viewing it as like, oh, you're my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, and again, this is only like 3 weeks in.
Yeah.
This is only 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So he's basically like, hey, you need to fit my schedule instead of me fitting my schedule around you. Because like when you first start talking to somebody or start getting with somebody, like you're not like moving mountains and everything for that person. Like you're focusing on you. And when they come into your life, that's when you're like, cool. It's not till later you're like, okay, like, hey, you know what? This person's more important than everything else.
It's like something has to spark for you to feel that way, for sure.
And I think he's on the right track.
Yeah.
But he's just not there yet.
Okay.
And so
probably just like, you should probably go the slow route. Don't know if you should have been here to do this, to get married and all that, but
so exactly what I thought was going to happen. They go to the altar. 80 says yes.
Crazy.
Clay says, I'm not ready. He says, I want to still be with you. I still love you, but like, and I want to keep making this work, but like,
I feel like that's happened with some Love is Blind couples.
Yeah.
Where there's, yeah.
He's just like, I'm not 100% there to be married. Like I'm not ready to be married right now. Like he says, I am not at the stage to be like a husband. And he's like, I don't want to do that to you. He's like, I still want to be with you. I still want to, but like, I'm not there. And I get it. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I called that from the beginning.
She was upset.
Of course, like don't like every person,
and you're
she has
rejected
all the,
on
yeah,
the
she has
TV
all,
and
exactly.
yeah.
Like you,
there's so much going on,
and then you think it's you, and then like you put it back on yourself. Am I not good enough? And blah blah blah. And it's just like now he has to step up, be a man, and like say
reassure
no,
her, and
reassure her, make sure that she's okay,
yeah,
and say, hey, babe, this has nothing to do with you. This is just me. I'm still not emotionally there. I'm still not emotionally intelligent enough to be a husband. I do not understand what it takes to be a husband, and I'm not there yet. And I need to be there before like I really say I do, because I've been through like divorce. I've been through cheating and stuff like that, and I want to make sure I give you my entire all. And like I get it. I get it. Everybody's shitting on Clay. Everybody hates Clay. He's a typical fuckboy, 1,000,000%.
For sure.
He's trying to reform. And so, I think he's fine.
Okay.
I think he's fine. But we'll get the reunion next week, and we'll see where they're all at. What do you think? You should watch this, even though I just gave it all away.
No, dude, I just like, honestly, after like the first, I think 2, maybe 3 seasons, I can't keep up on which ones. But I'm just like, dude... Are these people, like, are people still finding it for love? Like, I feel like the first season, because no one knew what really the show was going to be about, it was, like, maybe a teensy bit more, like, serious in terms of, like, finding someone. But, I don't know, sometimes, like, just hearing about it, I'm like, there's just so much
I think
drama.
that, no, there's drama.
And I will say, I've tried to get on the reality TV boat. I feel like I'm just not my jive.
Ooh, I'll find you a good show. Good show.
No, you've told me about good shows. I just can't. Like, people always tell me Love Island and stuff, and I'm like, I'm trying, guys. I really am. But yeah, I just think it's crazy. I think this concept is very weird. I think all these people are beautiful. It's crazy.
Some uglier
like
people.
I just don't think it how
I need some 600-pound motherfuckers in there. Like, I need way uglier people.
Also, I think sometimes I just find it really cringy because I hate their conversations sometimes because it sounds like over text when you're first meeting someone.
Facts.
And it like literally makes me like goosebumps cringe, and I'm just like, oh, I cannot hear you being like, yeah, so like, what are you wearing? And like, what are you like, ooh, is it hot? And it's like, no, like I'm just like transported to a place where it's like I'm in middle school and trying to talk to boys, like, type of thing. And so
I can't see you talking to boys in middle school.
I didn't.
So, hey, that's the end of our episode. Thank you, Midori, for being here 100%. She'll be back. She'll definitely be back.
Thank you for having me. And yeah, this is like the first podcast I've ever done. So no, just like thank you for listening. And no, I really appreciate you asking me and inviting me on. So
guys, make sure that in the chat, in the comments, put some love on for Midori.
Don't be mean to me.
Don't be mean. Don't be mean.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna read it. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, remember you can catch Double Trouble features on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. I'm Jordan.
I'm Midori.
Hey, and this is Double Trouble Features. Peace.
Woo woo.